Good evening. Welcome. My name is Cynthia Varanis Olson, and I'm delighted to be here with all of you. On behalf of the Mies van der Rohe Society Board, as part of Illinois Institute of Technology, the Interprofessional Program, the College of Architecture Facilities, Chicago Architecture Biennial, Miller Knoll, Maharam Knoll Textiles, and Diptyque Fragrance Company, we welcome you to Hilb's Day 2025. This is a great crowd for 4 o'clock on a, Thursday afternoon, so thank you for coming. The exhibition was inspired by Mies and Lily Reich's 1929 Satin and Silk Cafe. They demonstrated how space could be freed by dematerializing walls and replacing with flowing fabric partitions, allowing for light, texture, transparency, movement, and flexibility. Our acclaimed artists, Luftwerk, will tell you more in just a few minutes. But a generous thanks to our Miller Knoll and Maharam Knoll Textiles who donated the fabric for these panels. And to our facilities department who expertly made disco ball motors work in these light sockets. So ingenuity and low budget, so bravo. And Bruce Watts is our VP and oversees facilities, so we thank you. But it was the artistry also of Luftwerk working with our iPro students that I just want to congratulate. The students have studied and worked with Luftwerk and observed the dances that you're about to see from Hedwig Dances, Jan Bartosik, founder of Hedwig. Jan? So she will tell you a little bit more about the dances that were inspired by the Bauhaus, and Petra Bachmeier is right there from Luftwerk. And in just a moment, I want to introduce you to our new and esteemed provost, but let me just say one quick thing before I do about Hilb's Day. Many of you already know this. It's become a tradition again to celebrate Hilb's on December 21st or around this time. His students called him Hilb's. He was adored. A couple of students in the audience, would you raise your hand, from around that time? Keith and Steve and Ed and a few people from that era. They would watch the shadows fall over the polished terrazzo floors in Crown Hall. And Hilb taught his students to optimize light by planning for the darkest, shortest day of the year. And it became known as Hilb's Day, and it was a celebration. So Diptyque, an outstanding French candle and fragrance company, to celebrate the radiance of those luminaries, has provided a gift for everybody as you leave. So Stephen Garcia from Diptyque in Chicago has provided us this gift. Thank you, Stephen. So Mies, Reed Kroloff apologizes, he's under the weather, he couldn't make it tonight, but what he was going to just mention is that Mies and Professor Ludwig Hilberzheimer have roots that began in the Bauhaus. And they established themselves here at Illinois Institute of Technology, Mies as dean and Hilb's as the city and regional planning professor. They planned this entire campus with landscape design by Alfred Caldwell. Over the course of the next 20 years, 20 buildings would be planned and built, set in a park, now an arboretum, that would shape the path for a stellar, technically oriented, yet creative and forward-thinking university. And with that, I'd like to introduce someone we're super excited about having here at IIT, at Illinois Tech. Elizabeth Hudson is our new and esteemed provost.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. And thank you so much for having me here. I feel very bad, especially without Reed, because I'm a very poor substitute. I'm not an architect at all or with any training. I have to say I am completely enchanted by being introduced to this Hilb Day tradition. I think it's fascinating and extraordinary, and also, I would say, important. Because this notion of what we think about, we're positioned within a technological university, thinking about what are our materials, how do we shape human experience in all sorts of ways, and how can the particular context of these students and the iPro that they engaged in, how can all sorts of different forms of knowledge, including dance and the arts, inform how we think about shaping human experience in crucial ways. One of the things I love hearing about and learning about, of course I'll be delighted to actually see the performance and understand and experience what has been set up here, but I love the fact that for this iPro class that collaborated with the artists in particular, the range of disciplines that these students have come from, and I'm told, so architecture, but also pre-med, chemistry, computer science, and engineering, and that idea of how we can come together and think about the shape of bodies and movements and light for how we think about our experience as human, engaging with each other and with larger communities and shaping those communities together, I think is really exquisite. So thank you for having me here, and thank you for joining us.
Now I'd like to invite Petra Bachmeier from Luftwerk.
Thank you, Cynthia. First of all, I really want to say thank you, Cynthia. And also to the Mies Society and the board of the Mies Society. Without the support of the Mies Society, we wouldn't have created meaningful interventions with Mies architecture in the past. We have been engaged with Mies dialogue since a decade. So this is a unique opportunity for us to be here tonight with all of you to think about Mies and the idea of the transparent wall, the dynamic space, the fluidity of space, and what an open floor plan can mean and how it can be interacted with. So scenography of space is a big sketchbook for us right here tonight, to work with you all and to engage with you all of how do you create a dynamic space, and how do you create movement, and how do you engage with the transparency of that is so significant for Mies architecture. So without further ado, thank you everyone.
So we have another artist who I'd like to introduce, Jan Bartosik from Hedwig Dances. Jan?
Well, I too would like to thank you, Cynthia, and the Mies Society for having Hedwig Dances be a part of Hilb's Day celebration of light and movement. We're delighted to be here, and we're honored. Over the course of the past 7 years, I've choreographed 3 dances that have been based on the Bauhaus, inspired by the Bauhaus. And I'm drawn to the elemental language of Bauhaus design. On your kiosk over there, it says that Mies said that the Bauhaus was an idea. It's of course also a brand, but I like the idea of thinking of it as an idea, and that it's something living and can be interpreted in the present day. It just wasn't something in the past. We're able to help shape it. I also bring you and the Mies van der Rohe Society greetings from the Executive Director of the Bauhaus Dessau Foundation, Barbara Steiner. I'm going to read a short statement from her. The Bauhaus Dessau Foundation and the Mies van der Rohe Society are linked not only by Bauhaus history past, but also by the present. The first German translation of Ludwig Hilbersheimer's The New City, Principles of Planning, has finally been published. The groundbreaking book was written after his arrival in the US in 1938, based on his teaching at Bauhaus Dessau. Oskar Schlemmer's triadic ballet has been further developed by Hedwig Dances to Metamorphose, a triadic fiction, a play that is touring around the world. This year, Hilb's Day connects them both. I wish you all a wonderful day. That's from Barbara Steiner. Today, Hedwig Dances actually performs two excerpts from Futura. And Futura was performed at Bauhaus Dessau's 100th anniversary of the Bauhaus in 2019. And these excerpts were performed along with Metamorphose more recently in Hedwig Dances' tour of German cities in August and September. But Futura has a history here on the Illinois Tech campus because we developed it as a three-way partnership between Bauhaus Dessau, the Institute of Design, and Hedwig Dances. Under the Institute of Design under the leadership of then Dean Dennis Weil. In 2019, in a performance in Dessau, graduate students from the Institute of Design performed along with Hedwig Dances in a prologue that they created here on this campus. We hope you enjoy the work that we're going to show you. It's two excerpts from Futura. It starts with a solo performed by Olivia Gonzalez, and then is followed by a trio, a bench trio, trichotomy, performed by Kelly Kosiak, Milo Saxe-Hafheimer, and Heriberto Meneses. So I look forward to talking to you afterwards.
Well, on behalf of the Mies Society, the College of Architecture, Facilities, the iPro class, thank you all so much for coming. I think this was magnificent, by the way. It's always a wonderful experience to see the dynamic interaction of bodies and light in space. And that's what this is all about. So bravo to them for the job they've done. Oh, yeah, and of course, yeah, I'm sorry, I overlooked the mention of Luftwerk, who's created these wonderful, basically silk shades, like we've talked about. Again, you are taking a very two-dimensional object and creating a three-dimensional experience, which is really, really wonderful. And it's a great thing to see and experience. So thank you very much for doing that. It's a great job. So I guess it's time for you all to just wander around, look at what you want to look at, enjoy the evening. We'll be having more events in this, I guess, after the first of the year. We'll have the Mies birthday party coming up, which is always a big event for us. So stay tuned, and we hope to see you there. Have a great evening. Thanks.